Hello everybody, welcome back. Right, let's have a look at some of these charts then. So Bitcoin's been making some moves, and alts have been making some even bigger moves. Actually, some really sort of above 5%, which is significant really. Any move up is good for anyone really, but we're really focusing on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is obviously going to be taking the lead with all of these. So we closed the weekly yesterday and we closed it pretty down, to be honest with you, so any move up is welcome for Bitcoin at this point, because that is an enormous candle with very little support being held onto it, and we start the new week here at the bottom of the support level, and we're moving up. So what do we expect for this week? I'll tell you what I expect. So the last time I made a video anyway, I said that the area of movement would be about an $800 move or so, to the up or to the down. That's kind of what we're expecting. We're trading within a range of this bottom level here of 7,700 to as much as this one here, which is the 200 EMA, which is going to be 8,650. So really, yeah, we're talking quite a large range really. We're almost $1,000 range, trading range, which is an enormous amount when we're talking at this level now. So anything lower than $10,000 Bitcoin would, percents mean a lot more than they used to financially, if we're talking moves to the down especially. So what's this move that we've done today? You can see that we actually were significant support all the way from down to the bottom, all the way back up to the top, and we're lurking around this, I'd call it a no man's land really, because the first step of rejection is going to be here at 8,400, which is where the 200 simple is, and if that were to break, I say if we were to break through that, then we've got this guy here now, which is currently at 8,000. It's actually 8,700, we'll call it at the moment, but it's slowly descending, ever so slightly slowly descending, and I would expect rejections from both this one, and as you can see, fast approaching is the 10 simple, and we're still beneath that. We'll probably be rejected from that also. It's difficult to say when this will break down. You can't really put a time frame on this one, to be honest with you, when it will break down, and to be honest, there is a chance that it might not break down. The reason we have supports and resistances is to give us an idea of whereabouts it is that it's going to start to make bigger moves as a result of that. But the fact is that we've broken beneath all major supports to the point where we're trending beneath all moving averages, important moving averages that would be. And because we're beneath all of those, I would expect them to become rejection points for us at this point now. And the only support that we've got is this one here, which we've wicked into quite significantly. In fact, even today we wicked right down to the very bottom of it before we were supported at the last minute. And to be expected, really, we once you get to the bottom of there, everybody knows that this is a support level, so everybody really is going to be this is the way to trade really. This is the best way to trade. When you see let's just say a sell-off coming all the way down to the bottom of a support level, it's a very, very good tactic to place a long there with a stop loss, which would be, let's just say, you could go as wild as maybe 2%, below it. So we could be putting a stop loss at, if you were to be buying it there, you could put a stop loss at the bottom of the Bollinger Band or just below. So it's quite, it's not that tight, but it's tight enough to know that if it were to be supported here and go for a move, you could have essentially, maybe even, there's a chance that you've bought the bottom. So it's actually, to see something like this is to be expected. And actually to see a move like this, I would have expected to get even higher, to perhaps maybe even to this level here before a rejection, or maybe even to this level here before a rejection. So it's always going to see that this is what we're going to be seeing. You see, when we get to the bottom of here. Now we'll start to question this tactic when we have more days sort of wicking into it, and candle bodies closing within it, and it just tells you that essentially we're looking to break below it. More likely to break below it than we are to have these significant supports and pumps as a result of it. That's the way to play these ones. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice, and that isn't something that I did because I wasn't around when it did that. As much as I do like to make trades, I do work quite a lot. I'm a psychiatric nurse, you see, so I work shift patterns. So some days I'll be working a full 14-hour day, and then I might, be lucky enough to have 2 or 3 days off after that. So that's the beauty of shifts. So sometimes I can sit down and make really good trades, but other times I'm completely out of the loop. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm just leaving it, because again, this is no man's land. This is a no trade zone for me. It could go up, could go down, but whichever way it's going to go, it's not going to be very significant for me. You're not really going to be looking to make gains one way or another. You essentially sort of playing the lottery. You're gambling on it, really. You don't know which way it's going to go when it's right in the centre here. It could go up to this level before rejection. It could go up to this level before rejection. It could come all the way back down before support, or it could break down. Who knows? I can't tell you what's going to happen. We have to wait to see how this plays out. And like I say, we get more wicks in here. We've had wicks here almost every day now, and the weekly was tragic, and we're about to close a monthly tonight, which is not going to look great either. The quarterly's down, which would be the first one, which isn't such a terrible thing, but it's not good in a supposed bull market. So the best thing to do in my book would be to leave this completely alone and just wait to see if we get rejections here, and if we do, perhaps it'll be similar to what I said when you make a long here. It'll be a relatively good idea to maybe think about putting a short in at this level here, because like I say, if you have a tight stop loss, like I say 2 or 3% max, then it's if you get stopped out, you've lost a bit, but the chance to gain is much higher and much more likely than being stopped out. And if you stopped out, fine, you lost a little bit, but if it did go your way, and it would be more likely to go in your way, then you would have caught a good run. And you'd really want to be selling it. Perhaps our first target could be this one here. We could be bouncing on this here, who knows, but certainly selling it when it gets to this blue box territory. That's the way I would trade it if, like I say, I was available to make those trades. So let's look a little closer at some of this. So we've got our MACD is actually showing a bit of bullish divergence ever so slightly. So it wouldn't surprise me if we do eventually come back up to test this level here of this white 200 EMA, which again is descending every day ever so slightly. So over this next week, I would expect to see more moves up, but I don't expect it to go any higher than this level here. So we can call it, as it's descending, we can call that level 8,700 to be safe, and that would be, I would expect, the highest it's likely to go before rejection, and then come back down to test this level. Now, I'm not going to start looking at all alts individually. We're going to look at the Bitcoin dominance, which in itself is actually decreasing. I've noticed that today we've had quite a few pumps across the board with altcoins, which has caused this, because even though Bitcoin has moved, altcoins have moved even more. But let's not get too excited about that, because when Bitcoin dictates the entire market, let's just face it, we all know that whatever Bitcoin does impacts all alts in general. Some alts have lives of their own, let's just, without naming names, I mean, if there's huge news, groundbreaking, life-changing news comes out about one alt, it will certainly pump, no question, but it's still subject to the rest of the market. It's only going to pump if people put money into it, and if nobody's wanting to put money into anywhere, if everybody's being very cautious, like I would expect them to be, because I'm not the only person that thinks this way. I think the vast majority of people trading cryptocurrencies will be thinking exactly the same that I'm doing. It's quite simple to see this situation that we're in right now, and it would be the best play would be to put all your money into Tether or cash it out completely, but don't have anything hanging around, unless of course you're a hodler and you don't really care about that kind of thing anyway. Accumulation is your game, and that's fine. I accumulate Bitcoin, I accumulate Matic, and I started to accumulate XRP, which is shoot me for that one. But yeah, like I say, generally speaking, most people are going to be having their money in Tether. and this is exactly the reason why we're in no man's land. No one knows if it's going to be going up to here or going back down to here. No one can dictate this movement we're in right now. And when it does make a move, like I say, because everybody's money is clearly in Tether right now, once it breaks above this area significantly, or breaks below this area significantly, we're going to see big moves. Like I say, if we break above this area, I would say, even getting towards the centre of this daily Bollinger Band, we're going to see it lift off really when we get above about 9,000. So definitely above 9,500, we'll probably see a full recovery begin to happen at that point. But until then, it's a no trade zone for all coins in general, unless of course you're looking to short coins like I currently do. And one of my favourite coins is EOS. Now I'm not going to bring that chart up, but EOS is a great coin. I don't care about its fundamentals. I don't care about it at all. But what it does appear to be doing is making very big moves up and very big moves down. So I like to short Bitcoin. I like to short EOS, definitely. Things like XRP, I don't really, because it's a little bit too. It's got a life of its own, to be honest with you, and it makes it very unpredictable for me to read that. So I leave that one alone. I try and just focus on a few things, such as EOS, Ethereum, and Bitcoin when I'm doing my shorting really. So at the moment, like I say, I'm not even shorting anything. I'm just waiting it out. And my next area to short would probably be this area, because I'd comfortably be looking to short that. I don't think I'd be shorting this area here, even though that would be an opportunity. This would be an opportunity to short, and this again would be an opportunity to long. But bear in mind, tight stop losses every time. Be prepared to lose. But if it goes your way, then everything will be, you'll be laughing really. You'll be laughing. Anyway, I'll leave that one with you there, and we'll see how this plays out for the rest of the week. So like I say, we're trading anywhere between this area here and this area here, and right at the moment where we are now is a complete middle ground, and it could go either way. But these are my opportunities: short, long, short, long, short, long, and we'll see how that takes us. Anyway, I hope you have a nice evening. Thanks for watching, and take it easy.